52, and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Got it. 55, line 55. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, Dickerson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try the left side. Dickerson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To throw is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now it's Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Here's 2nd and 8. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 5. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Check 26, check 26.
They'll drop the throw. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Wilson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. They'll run the screen with Carson. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape with the...
And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 15. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
He'll look to throw. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended receiver.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 62 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes still clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jadeveon Clowney coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's taken on the 25. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson, he's going to float this one deep right. That's caught inside the 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Check. Hey, Alpha.
They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Hey, let's get in home. One flip.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And this one is right down the middle. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does,
touchdown, Vikings! Curtis Samuel, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take it.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson now. Going to throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round, but I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the... hotel, make sure they get their security deposit back.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Looking to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On first down, Dickerson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
It's now fourth down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit us first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They run the counter. Carson, and he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
What? Green 80! 55! Here we go!
He can run for it, and he will. And a good job defensively. They'll get 7 yards there on the keeper, but still 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. DeAndre Hopkins. 78 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Seahawks take over
That's it, baby. We got work.
at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
First down, Seahawks.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. His throw incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson to throw again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll run on 1st down. Dickerson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Sam off on the ball.
They'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt. They'll try and throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down. This time Wilson will throw. Oh, he finds his running back who snuck right down the middle of the field. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Carson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw here. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Mike 59.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
55. He's scared. Kill. Switch. Alert flare. Chat.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go, D. Hey, let's get there.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Penny, the first down carry. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, 0. Check 59. Mike is 59.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
Let's go.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.